Blog Talk Radio.
Are you looking to make your next event sizzle? Then you want to get in touch with Lee Entertainment. Mark Lee, the founder of Lee Entertainment, has worked with such notable festivals as the Art of Cool, the National Black Theater Festival, the Bull Durham Blues Festival, and the Durham Centerfest, as well as the Festival of the Eno. And it definitely can provide you with some great entertainers as well as help you make your event sizzle if you're looking forward to trying to have an event in your town. Mark Lee is willing to travel anywhere in this country to make your event sizzle and has entertainers that are also willing to travel as well. So if you're looking for quality entertainment, definitely get in touch at bluesradio@gmail.com.
The voice of the people is now known as Straight Talk with Dean and Mark. Call in and comment on the conversation at 646-668-8393.
Hey guys, want to kill that cable bill? How about getting a Netmaster? You can watch live TV, pay-per-view, premium content like HBO and Stars, all of the sports channels like NBA League Pass, NFL Red Zone, and every movie ever made. Pay for the box once, no monthly fees ever. For more information, contact Dean 13 Media at 609-807-1175.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is Straight Talk with Dean and Mark. We're back again, back off vacation. It's September 10th, 2018. I'm in the studio. It's the six-man Dean Geronimo from NJ to NC. You know I'm in the studio with my man Mark Lee. Hey, Mark, how's the weather down there in your neck of the woods, bruh?
Well, right now it's a little bit on the hot side, but, you know, anytime we start thinking about even having a hurricane or a tornado or whatever that's going to be in terms of bad weather, folks start making beelines to the grocery store. So, you know, there are grocery stores that are out of water. I'm sure there are probably grocery stores that are out of bread. I was actually just talking to my next-door neighbor. She had some jugs of water in her hand, and I think she said she had already got some of her other necessities for her and the cat that is her roommate and everything. So I guess they're ready for the storm. Yours truly, as is often the case in a lot of things in life, has procrastinated. So I still got to get to the grocery store either today or tomorrow, because I think they say that the weather's supposed to really turn probably nasty maybe on Tuesday, really on Wednesday and Thursday. And, you know, we were talking about Centerfest. I called my people over there, and we're hoping that we have a Centerfest, but, you know, if it's like a torrential downpour and there's rain and everything like that, that may be cold as well. So I think Sherry DeFries, the head of the Arts Council, will make that decision sometime around Wednesday or Thursday. So we're keeping our fingers crossed that we still have a street festival this weekend. So there's actually a lot of street festivals this weekend. I believe Raleigh has a big bluegrass festival that's scheduled for this weekend as well. So we're going to see if we can't get these festivals in, and hopefully the weather steers in another direction and does not cancel these outside festivals. But, you know, people are already starting to drop out in terms of doing some events. I know that I've already seen some cancellations on Facebook with the postponement. So we'll just have to see what happens with the weather. You know, I think the governor has declared a state of emergency. So we're just going to see what happens. But folks are definitely hunkering down and preparing for the worst.
Wow. All right, well, I hope everything, it passes, because I know I saw on the news this morning, man, they're supposed to hit the Carolinas, not only North Carolina, but South Carolina, and also my home state of Virginia. So, you know, just praying that it breezes through and not really touch down and touch ground like they say it will. You know,
because it's already gone up. I know earlier today it was a Category 2, and I was talking to somebody at one of the local malls. I think it was a security guard, and he was telling me that as of the afternoon it had already been bumped up to a Category 4. So it's I think it was a Category 3, then it went down to a 2, and now last check I think it was back at a 4. So we're just going to see what it does, and like I said, hopefully the weather will cooperate, and, you know, maybe it'll steer out in another direction, maybe out to sea or something like that. But we just have to play it by ear and see what happens with that kind of situation.
Dang. That's just praying everybody stay safe down there, man. That's all I can really say, man.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, ever since our vacation, we've had a lot of major news in terms of people that have passed on, because I believe that I don't think we've done the show since Aretha passed, and she's passed, and then they've also had her funeral, and of course there was some controversy about that because some people were thinking that the minister took a opportunity to make some statements on his views on things like single mothers and things of that nature. But I don't know that was the time to be doing that. I mean, this was a time to be honoring this woman and her life and all the great things that she had done musically. And I don't know that we need to be having him making statements. A lot of those statements I did not even agree with, but definitely I don't think that was the place or the time to be doing those kinds of statements.
Well, it was a long funeral to start with, and then you add all of the extras in it, and it's like, good gracious. It's taking a whole lot to say so little, but yeah, a whole lot of people were angry with those statements. When you look at it, I mean, some of it had some substance to it, but like you said, that may not have been the place to do it.
It may not have been the time or the place. Even if you agree with what he was saying, it might not have been the place or the time to be making those statements. And I'm sure people were making statements that people may not have agreed with, or that they might have agreed with at Senator McCain's funeral as well, since that was another major one that has happened this past few days and everything. And we actually had some sad news in the ways of people that have passed on. I know he was a big fan of my blues show, and he was also, I believe, might have even checked this show as well. But we had a guy by the name of Mercy D, who was known in this area as a big-time business leader, and he also had a hair salon, karate dojos, and a variety of other things. And he actually passed last week. I'm not sure when they'll do any sort of memorial service for him or funeral or whatever, but he would definitely be greatly missed. But he has been fighting a lot of different things through the course of these last few years. I mean, many years ago, he had even been in a motorcycle accident, and I believe he's had some other health issues as well. So he fought a very long fight, but he did succumb to that battle last week. And like I said, he will be missed by many in the business community around this area. So definitely want to give a salute to Mercy D. Dawson. His son, Brian Dawson, is actually well known as a DJ on one of the Radio 1 stations here. So, and of course, he's got other supporters and people that definitely knew him for the many works that he did in the community. So, like I said, he will be greatly missed.
Indeed, our condolences go out to his family, and may the Most High comfort you during this difficult time. Our prayers are with you, and may his legacy continue to live on.
Yeah, that's it. When those people that have those kind of legacies pass on, that's all we can do is just hope that people remember those legacies and continue those legacies, because there's ways that you can continue the legacies even after the person has passed on. So hopefully folks will step into the void that he will leave and continue to honor those legacies that he left behind. Like I said, I know he was a business person. His son is a business person as well as a media person. So, and I believe his grandson is even following in some of those footsteps as well as being a performer and everything. So he is definitely has a lineage that is continuing, and hopefully folks will remember that lineage and keep it going. One of the things I was going to ask you about in the sports world, well, first off, congratulations to your team, because Baltimore did just win a game. My team, most of the teams I root for, the Vikings and Panthers, won games, but your Baltimore team put down a strike down on somebody. I mean, they didn't just win. They I think they were trying to send a statement about what they were going to try to do for the rest of the year, because they didn't just put no simple beating. They put a beat down on their opponent. But so it looks like they were definitely going to be a strong team and should be congratulated. But the other news that was going on in the sports world was the controversy involving Serena, where she basically called out, I think it was a tennis judge and things of that nature. But I actually had a friend who was at the game. He gave his observations, and he definitely, gave the observations that he felt that both parties were in the wrong, both the judge and Serena. And he also said what I've heard a lot of people say, which is that it looked like she was going to be losing that match anyway. So Rex has been involved in the tennis world himself for a while, and we had the privilege of being at that match. So he was actually at the match and was able to give some insight into it. He reminded me that last year, so this is the second year in a row that we have had two people of our descent in the finals, because last year it was Madison Keys against Sloane Stephens. This year it was Serena against Osaka. So back-to-back years of strong presence from the African-American, or at least the African diaspora community. So definitely that needs to be commended, because it's been back-to-back years that happened.
You know what? I'm going to say this. Having played a sport, man, when those emotions get going, you know, and I'm just going to say one name. You know, everybody who's played a sport and you're real passionate about this sport, you're not going to act I guess people want you to be, you know, calm, cool, and collected all the time. It's not going to happen. But if they're crying now, what did they do when John McEnroe was like straight cussing them out? You know, and he didn't get. What did he get? Nothing. So now,
and it wasn't just McEnroe in that area. It wasn't just McEnroe in that area. We have to remember that Ivan, I believe his last name was Lindell, was known for throwing some temper tantrums during that era.
Yes. Yes.
Going forward, there was a bunch of folks that definitely were known for throwing some temper tantrums, particularly on, as you just pointed out, the male side of the tennis court. So, but I believe there were even some women that back in the day. I want to say that I remember even Martina not exactly being all that happy with some of the calls that she got, and definitely Billie Jean King was not happy with some of their calls. So there's a lot of folks that were not getting the calls that they wanted, and we're not getting as much flack as what apparently Serena is getting. So, yeah, you have to wonder if it's about the times, about their history and their heritage and things of that nature. But definitely, I'm with you on that. I'm sitting there going like, wait a minute, there's some folks in there that were not the most friendly people in the world in terms of what they did. And, you know, we're still catching stuff with Colin. Speaking of sports and everything, we're still catching people with Colin and the protests. But I thought it was a real bold move by a major corporation to say, hey, look, we're going to build a whole ad campaign around this and pay the man to be involved in the campaign. So that's definitely going to keep the issue on the forefront and everything. But I did see that one of the people that had been involved in the protest was now trying to put it on the issue of cash bail, because apparently they wore a shirt that dealt with cash bail and not with police and some of the other issues that are being dealt with the protests and everything. And apparently there were a few, because I believe that Colin Kaepernick even called out those that had been on his supporters list that did do some form of protest during the games this past week. So it'll be interesting to see how things play out. Of course, you know, that person that sits in D.C. is still trying to make stupid statements about what he thinks is right or wrong about what those folks are doing, like we really care what he's got to say.
I was going to say, man, y'all know he's slow. I don't even know why y'all keep on entertaining this illiterate bastard. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel any type of way. He's an idiot. And I don't mind saying it, you know, and they're talking about invoking that 25th Amendment. I believe that they're going to do it, and I believe that they are planning quietly what they want to do. So when they put that plan in motion, boom, it's just going to happen. And there's nothing that they're going to be able to do to pull it back. I think they're planning it. Now, is it that somebody has a big mouth and they let it all the way out? You know, so I don't know.
So you think
we're going to find out.
You think it's going to happen one way or the other?
It's going to happen one way or the other, man. I really do think so. I'd be surprised if it does not. But nothing surprises us. You know, this has been the real-life version of The Apprentice. So, it just might go that way. You know what I mean? So, one other
Apprentice
thing.
version?
Apprentice real-life version. You know, the real-life version of The Apprentice. So we'll find out who's going to be fired by next week and who they're going to bring in. And Omarosa is now trying to get back to the cookout, so she's going to be letting some things out that she never wanted to tell until they said, we no longer have any use for you. Get out, keep going.